Good morning and welcome to the Vashon Island Unitarian Universalists. My name is Donna Klemke. I use she, her pronouns, and I'll be the service leader today. If you're visiting, welcome, and please participate as you feel comfortable. You're invited to stay and enjoy treats and conversation after the service. Our congregation is committed to individual freedom of belief, welcomes diversity, and seeks to promote a sense of community, and it fosters religion, which enriches the spirit. We're mostly a lay-led community. It's a lay-led service today, and we're strengthened and enriched by weaving together all of our volunteer contributions. We're lucky to be supported by our minister, Reverend Florence Kaplow, who is here with us the second weekend of every month. So please come back for that. As we begin our service, please take a couple of breaths to become fully present. Relax and bring your attention to this moment of communal reflection and sharing. Let us simply breathe together as we hold our hearts open. Breathing in as our hearts fill with compassion. Breathing out as we pray for healing in our world and in our lives. Breathing in as we hold hope in our hearts. Breathing out as we pray for justice in our world. Breathing in, we are the love. Breathing out, we are the peace. Breathing in, we are the hope. Breathing out, we are the justice. May we know our strength, and may our love flow from us into this world. These land acknowledgement words have been given to us by the Puyallup tribe, and we acknowledge that we are on the ancestral homes of the Swabash Coast Salish Native people. The Puyallup people have lived and stewarded these lands since the beginning of time, and continue to do so today. We recognize that this land acknowledgement just is one small step toward true allyship, and we commit to uplifting the voices, the experiences, and the histories of the indigenous people of this land and beyond. So we take this moment as an acknowledgement of this commitment. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you arrived here, you are welcome and you belong here. Beth is going to do the chalice lighting for us.
Let us light our chalices together here in Lewis Hall and also online with the words by Reverend Michelle Collins. We light this small fire under a vast and intricate universe. Somewhere a star collapses, a seed splits open, a new element is glimpsed. Here we notice our own small corner of that mystery. Let this flame remind us that asking how things work is also a kind of awe.
So we have our first and only hymn today. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. That's a very robust way to start the service. I like that. This service is about awakening curiosity, which is the month's theme of the UUs. And the Mystery and Wonder Group is responsible for this service. And we're just delighted. There are going to be more groups showing up next year. Beth has undertaken an effort to generate interest in people doing services, and it's successful. So it's exciting because we talk about that. It gives us energy too. So as a way of introducing the program, author Ken Key has said, "Everyone and everything around you is your teacher." Each of us has found this to be true. Our life experiences have been our teachers on this journey of awakening curiosity, and we look forward to sharing with you how each of us is trying to live into this practice. And we'll start with Jean.
Good morning. Curiosity is such a wonderful way to engage with the world. The physical environment and the diverse beings that inhabit it all invite our curiosity and care. So how do we awaken that curiosity? I think a primary means to awaken curiosity is simply by paying attention. When I notice the emerging buds in the woods or catch the sound of frogs croaking somewhere in the garden, my attention is captured. And if I pause for a moment, my curiosity might awaken as I contemplate what the frogs were doing all winter, or how spring will unfold this year. Annika Rose, founder and creative director of the Wellbeing Collective, writes that curiosity is the desire to learn, to explore, and to understand. It's that feeling of being drawn to something new and wanting to know more about it, even if we're not quite sure why. She goes on to say that curiosity is a powerful force. It keeps our minds flexible and open, allowing us to see things from new perspectives and to find joy in the little things. When we nurture curiosity, we invite a sense of aliveness into our lives, an aliveness that can transform our daily experiences, relationships, and our work. In my experience, paying attention to the little things and being curious about them keeps me engaged with the world. One of the things that nurtures me these days is a class at Vashon Strong, a small gym in the center of town. Our class is called Legends, and it's for people over 70 years of age. Marilee's part of this too. The class always starts with the question of the day, which we take turns answering as we do our initial warm-ups. The questions can be as simple as what's your favorite place in nature, or what's your go-to potluck offering, to something more provocative like what do you wish you had done differently when you were 20? These questions often spark my curiosity about the lives of others in the class, as well as about my own journey. Many of the little snippets others share make me want to know them better. These questions are as much a part of creating a nurturing community as weightlifting and other physical challenges. I think we awaken each other's curiosity, which leads to deeper caring. This is the type of curiosity described as empathetic curiosity in an article I found on the Encyclopedia Britannica website called The Science of Curiosity. According to this article, Human life is built on relationships and interactions between people, and empathetic curiosity is the drive to know more about what other people think and feel. They contrast empathetic curiosity with epistemic curiosity, the drive to eliminate information gaps and learn new explicit information. I think both types of curiosity enrich my life and foster connection with the world around me. John O'Donohue wrote a charming little poem called Fluent that goes like this. I would love to live like a river flows, carried by the surprise of its own unfolding. I'm going to read it again. I would love to live like a river flows, carried by the surprise of its own unfolding. How wonderful to allow oneself to be carried by surprise at the unfolding of one's life, and perhaps beyond this life and this body. I think curiosity can bring joy to this flowing river.
Coming through Martin's, my husband's passing, I knew I would be altered by the process of learning to live alone after 50 years of having a partner. I had some anchors that held me steady: our home and place, family and friends, my sense of self. I realize now that another important anchor that I threw down was curiosity. But this wasn't a curiosity that was fun or simply interesting. This curiosity was colored by my grief and the uncertainty ahead of me. Martin didn't complain once about his disease process or the pain he endured from bone metastases. As he said, the only way he knew how to deal with his situation was to be quiet in his head and take the next step forward. I had to honor his desire to hold himself. Through these years, I had to hold my questions because of his needs, which I felt were greater than mine. Though as I moved through the time of Martin's passing, a new kind of curiosity came alive in me. This curiosity was born of the uncertainty ahead, the new ground I was on. But it helped me look at my situation with open eyes, with a freshness, a newness I couldn't avoid. Victoria Stafford says, "The awakened, curious eye is a conscious eye, a willful eye, and brave, because to see things as they are, each in its own truth, will make you vulnerable." I'm changed by this vulnerability that Stafford describes. My curiosity about Martin's experience led me to a world of books and articles I had not known existed. I read as much as I could, curious about the ideas and insights about death and dying, and I reflected deeply. I also talked with friends who have spiritual depth and listening skills that honored my curiosity. They probed with me, always allowing me to lead with my story and my needs. This time was immeasurably important to me. These friends honored my vulnerability, and my perspective was shaped by what I read. It helped me learn from my experience and solidified the relaxation around death that I learned from Martin. I will always feel gratitude and tenderness from the curiosity that was awakened by his passing. This experience has changed me. I carry a current of sadness as part of me now. But I also celebrate discoveries I've made and ideas I am trying to live. One discovery is particularly important to me. I'm changing the judgment I was taught as a child. I am working with Walt Whitman's advice, turn judgment into curiosity. Because of the judgment I experienced as a child, I learned very well how to be judgmental myself. Now Whitman's advice guides me. His advice is a fresh way to awaken curiosity and invite new learning. Jen Pacici writes the blog, Tiny Buddha, Simple Wisdom for Complex Lives. In turning judgment into curiosity, she advises, making judgments always involves black and white statements that put you in the right. Shifting to curiosity means shutting off that automatic response and asking thoughtful, insightful questions. Shifting in the way Pacici advises, we shift into an opportunity to grow, to expand our perspective. Curiosity is essentially a state of mind, looking at the world with a different lens that is open, inviting, productive. This shift is rooted in a humility, the recognition that we do not ourselves have all the answers. Awakening curiosity is a perspective we can adopt in our relationships with others, getting our egos out of the way and opening to ideas that may be different from the ones we hold. The shift to curiosity is a practice. Pacici advises in Tiny Buddha, her advice is so good. Be mindful, pause, take a breath, and choose curiosity. Curiosity practice may take you to a place that is deeply internal and one of reflection. It may mean that you ask a question, can you tell me more about that? Or you simply listen. Judgment sneaks into our interactions. So turning judgment to curiosity is a conscious, continuous practice that has great gifts. It can transform our understanding of what it means to be human. There's also a bit of mystery in this, which makes me smile. The Swiss philosopher Henri Frédéric Emile advises, let mystery have its place in you. Leave a little fallow corner in your heart, ready for any seed the winds may bring.
Remember, as a child, wanting to open your mother's jewelry box to discover a hidden treasure, or watching Top Chef and wondering how would it taste when that chef put a really spicy chili into that halibut dish, Or on a recent therapy session when the therapist heard a shift in my voice and asked, "What are you feeling now?" All these moments reflect the essence of awakening curiosity. It helps us become courageous enough to open that jewelry case, to add that chili, and to open up more deeply. It can transform how you listen, how you grow, how you learn. Awakening curiosity has recently shown me, through my automatic reactions, how derailing curiosity cuts off learning and growing. On a flight to Los Angeles a few weeks ago, I sat next to a woman dressed as a yogi. I asked if she was a teacher, and she said yes, but only on retreats. She described all the places outside of America that she had led. Then she asked, why hadn't I led one yet? I noticed my automatic pilot kick in a protest. I thought, I can't do this myself. That sounds really challenging. Was I going to shut down curiosity and listen to my mind making me right? Or ask her more questions? Was I going to be able to learn and grow, or stay safely with what I already knew? Could I open the jewelry box of her hidden treasures by listening and creating a yoga retreat with another teacher? Awakening curiosity also encouraged me to become aware of when I automatically judge or react by rejecting suggestions, like I'm on autopilot. One day, outside walking my dog Maggie, I met a woman and her husband. They were from New Zealand, here for the Northwest Animal Massage School training for the past week. And she's a dog physiologist. When I told her I was having a hard time finding a groomer here, she asked, why don't you groom her? Internally, I heard the reaction, I can't do that. In rejection mode, rather than curiosity mode, I invited them to my home because I already knew Maggie was not trainable. She doesn't like treats. I was listening to my judgmental reaction instead of awakening to curiosity. I shut down the space for this dog expert to talk and awaken curiosity about how to groom my dog. With patience, the dog physiologist sat on the floor and showed me how to train Maggie with treats. I could feel my autopilot rejections quieting. If this was a complete stranger, I wondered, who got Maggie to sit within a few minutes of giving her treats, could I groom her? She promised to help and sent me a lot of resources. It's been miraculous. Maggie and I are even closer, and I've learned how to care for her in a patient and calm manner. Awakening curiosity brought growth and learning into my life that could not have been there from my automatic mode of living. According to award-winning author Deborah Nash, for her book, Level Up Your Leadership, which is right here in case anybody wants to borrow it, she just went to New York like 3 days ago and got an award for this from the American Business Association. So, awakening to curiosity in your life requires asking questions. How often do you feel curious when you engage with others? Do you ask questions that you don't already have an answer to? Are you able to be curious about your own ideas and thoughts and willing to go beyond what you already know? I like to remember what Walt Disney said. We keep moving forward, opening new doors, doing new things because we're curious and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths.
I was in the car the other day coming to the ferry and listening to NPR, and the woman on the radio said, "Curiosity is at the heart of everything we do." I thought, I gotta write that down. It's true. During my childhood and adolescence, when I asked my father questions related to my schoolwork, he regularly responded with, "Look it up in the encyclopedia." That killed my curiosity, my curious energy, and seldom led to my searching any farther to learn about what had sparked my interest. I was deep into wondering, but not deep enough to make the extra effort to find the answer. There was an inherent laziness about me in my early years that slowed my exploration. While I'm intentional to follow my curiosity about things important to me, I do confess that a bit of my old laziness emerges in my total fascination with the stars and the universe. I've not sought to learn more in depth about the expansive worlds beyond us, but I rest in wonder, gazing out at the night skies, knowing little. To be truthful, my wonder has a spiritual feeling to it, knowing there is so much more out there beyond our reach of knowledge. It is beautiful, don't you think? Not knowing. Which leads me to the quandary of unsatisfied curiosity and the mysterious pull of the unanswerable. Nowadays, information is at our fingertips, so easily accessible that I can sometimes feel entitled to quick answers. Ask a question and Google it. Easy and fast. But what if I keep the question open, entering the unknown without the answers? This is more challenging for me. I must pause and slow down and consider that not knowing could be an opening for my curious mind. Jan Richardson writes, "Let them come. The questions that storm the world, let them come. The questions that draw you into rest, into dream, the questions that stir the wakening world." Richardson has a welcoming approach to not knowing, inviting my unconscious to do its work quietly and slowly. Patience, Beth. From another perspective, I notice a fine line between the generosity of my being curious in my relationships with friends and the moment when it is important for me not to express my curiosity. In general, I believe that heartfelt curiosity in our relationships creates a deepening, a greater connection between two people. It feels good to have a friend to ask me about my life, what's going on for me. Yet I know so well to shut my mouth at times. Sensitive subjects invite greater care as to how they are shared and received. While I might want to know something about what my friend is saying, they might not be willing to continue. I must rest in not knowing, hopefully being attuned to my friend's nonverbal cues. This is delicate, a respectful and kind holding back, with my curiosity left hungry. This fits so well with what Michelle Collins writes. Let this light open a space where not knowing is allowed to breathe. She encourages us all to have open minds, to be entranced with possibility. I'm challenged to find my peace in that space, not knowing. On a recent Sunday afternoon, while visiting the market and having a lovely conversation with a friend at a coffee shop, I was surprised by sighting a woman at the cemetery on my way home. Seeing her lean over in her red jacket, I was washed with wonder, tenderness, and a deep curiosity. Was she tending the grave of her husband, her child? What was her grief like? How long ago did they die? Alas, none of my questions would be answered, and never would be. I simply witnessed a tender moment in a cemetery, a moment of intimacy about which I knew little, while feeling very curious nevertheless. I truly was allowing my not knowing to breathe in a beautiful way. Rilke writes, have patience with everything unresolved in your heart, and try to love the questions themselves, as if they were locked rooms or books written in a very foreign language. Don't search for answers which could not be given to you now, because you would not be able to live them. Live the questions now. Perhaps then, someday in the future, you will gradually, without even noticing it, live your way into the answers. Will I die of my blood cancers? Will my daughter ever find happiness? When will I have to move away from my beautiful home and property? These are questions I will live into. They are unresolved. They are the crystal ball of my future, not to be known now, but to be lived over the years. Curiosity is a beautiful thing, exciting and stimulating. I'm grateful to continue to feel curious in my old age, and I'm also becoming more skillful at allowing my curiosity to rest unanswered. This a slender thread of life's beautiful opportunities.
Thank you, Leslie, for giving us the opportunity to reflect on the stories and how we're trying to live into curiosity. It's just lovely. Let me check my pages here. When we gather together as a community, we gather sometimes to listen and celebrate, worship together. We also make space to hold each other collectively in times of great joy or sorrow, honoring our common humanity and the spirit within us. If you have a joy to share or a burden that would be lightened by sharing it, you're invited to come up, please, and share it. And for those participating online through Zoom, please share your joy or concern in the chat, and Dennis will read it aloud for us. For those in Lewis Hall, please come up and speak briefly about your concern or your joy. And after you light your candle, or I can light it for you, go ahead and tell us. So I think we'll resume recording, but let's join in singing There's a Love. It's on the inside of the gray hymnal, the words. As members and friends of the Unitarian Universalists on Vashon, we commit to supporting our congregation. Financial resources help us to pay speakers and staff, enable our social justice programs, and maintain our building. Our congregation also engages beyond our walls for peace, social, and economic justice, and protection of our planet and its inhabitants, so that once a month we collect a contribution that goes to a regional, national, or international organization. Today's offering comes to our fellowship. We appreciate your support of the fellowship with your pledges and offerings, so we can continue to be a vital community. So will the greeters pass the baskets? And as they do, let's sing We Give Thanks, which is also in the inside of the gray hymnal. So we're going to close with a closing reading that Jean's going to do for us. Sorry.
This is by Reverend Michelle Collins. not as a problem to solve. Spirit of life and wonder, we come carrying questions we barely know how to ask. In a world that rewards quick answers and sharp certainty, something in us is still hungry for questions that leave us hanging and unknowing. Stir in us a living curiosity. When we meet what is unfamiliar, turn our fear into wondering. When we feel the pull to shut down, grant us one more honest question. May we notice anew what we have walked past 100 times. May we listen for stories we have never heard before. May we meet this day not as a problem to solve, but as a mystery to explore. May this help us better know the mystery that is us.
We extinguish our chalices with these words by Julianne Lepp. Open to unexpected answers. We seek our place in the world, in the answers to our heart's deep questions. As we seek, may our hearts be open to unexpected answers.
Thank you so much, Leslie. And thank you all who helped put the service together. Dennis supporting us quietly on tech, and set up team number 4 for bringing spring indoors. I thought maybe I had the wrong season. Team number 5. Excuse me, for bringing spring inside for us, and providing the snacks. And thank you all for participating in the service today. Please join us for refreshments after we have our VIUU announcements. So if you have an announcement to share, please come up and share it. Yeah, afterward. Yeah, I've got it.
I cut the line by going down the middle. I just would like to put another announcement in for CBEC. You know, we actually practically filled up the first day, so I called them up and we got another cabin. So there are more places,
and it's FERS, and I put it down there, over there to sign up. And please pay a deposit, which is, we're asking for $100 a person. If you write a check, post-date it for August, because it's our next service year. We don't want it to have the date for this service year. It's for accounting. Is Kirk? There's Kirk.
Either July or August, that would be good. If it's now,
It messes it up.
It's okay, I'll just hold it, just know that I'll hold it.
Okay. 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 And you can.
DIUU.
Very good question. The check made out to VIUU, because we will be paying, Kirk will be paying in full. And you can either pay a deposit or you can pay in full right now, so you don't have to think about it. That's what Jim and I are doing. Jim, you have another announcement? Okay. And different things we'll have is we're going to have we have 2 more services, right, in June. And then we're finished for the summer. So, other things will happen, you'll hear about, but we have so many lovely things planned for you. So it's very worth it. Okay.
Well, I am the the service coordinator for next week service on the 7th, and Mara's going to be the service leader next week, and she asked that because it's Pride and because she really wanted to be a kind of a celebration, she wanted everybody to dress as colorfully as they can. So if you could come in with color, that would be wonderful. It's all about being an ally, an allyship, and I think it'll be a nice service.
Hi, I'm Hooper, and I'd like to announce that Mara and I, in association, I think with Marilee and Amy, are co-hosting a circle dinner on June 24th. That's a Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. And in case you need an address, it's 26117 97th Avenue Southwest. That's in Docton. Thank you.
Is there a sign-up sheet?
Thanks. Thanks. No, it's sort of open invitation. We have lots of room, and so you don't need to commit on a sign-up sheet.
We'll send an email out.
Hi, I'm Jim. So I've never done this before. I've never had an announcement. And at 69 years old, doing new things is refreshing. So something else I've never done before is go to CBEC. I'm really excited. And so I am going to present a workshop, which again is something I've never even thought of doing before. But I am going to do a workshop in patching jeans. So if anybody has a pair of jeans with a hole in them, I'm bringing some fabric and thread and needles, and we're just going to wing it. So I hope to see everyone there. Thank you.
Good morning. Just wanted to put a sign-up sheet regarding the Strawberry Festival Parade. Would like to see our fellowship represented there. Last year it was just Tanya and I walking down the street with a banner, and I think it'd be great to get a big group of us to be together. My thought is, just like if you participated in the No Kings, think about a sign that you could carry that tells about our congregation, whether it's diversity of ideas or, whatever you think represents us, and what attracts you to our congregation. But it would be nice to let the community know we're here. So I'm going to put a sign-up sheet so that if you do want to attend, it's going to be, I think it's July 18th is the parade. I think that's the Saturday. But it's, we'll, if we've got an email or a text, I can send a reminder out to you, because I think it's easy to forget when the services stop over the summer. So this will be over there. Thanks. Thank you. Oh, also, if you need, I have a few really nice signs, gator board, sign, poster board kind of materials. If you need one, let me know. I've got a few more left. Otherwise, you're on your own to grab some.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Beth. Just as Donna referenced, we've been very successful in people volunteering to provide services for next year. And if there's anyone else, this is the last day. I'm going to take this piece of paper home because we're going to be in Spokane at graduations for the next 2 Sundays. So this is the last day to sign up in case you're interested. And it would be great. So we have some wonderful brewing new services for next year. And also, there is a circle dinner in June besides Hooper and Mara, and that is that Bill and Kathy Noller are offering a circle dinner on Saturday the 17th. Nobody's signed up yet. So this is here. I hope that you can be there.
Hello, I'm Marilee, and I'm here with the committee to share our recommendation for the Community Support Fund with all of you. And what I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, and at the end of our presentation, we're going to ask you for a voice vote, hopefully in favor of our recommendation. First of all, I'd really like to acknowledge 2 groups. First of all, the VIUU Board of 24-25 for creating the Community Support Fund. It was a bold and brilliant move, and we were lucky this year to get to work, on behalf of the community based on the work that they had done before. So I really appreciate the effort and the generosity and sense of abundance that was part of that initial creation. The other people I'd like to acknowledge are the women who worked on this committee. We actually met several times. We've spent some time on this. They include Jean, Donna, Julia, Shauna, Sue, and Julia. Did I say Julia? And Sheila. So, well, the cells are going. And I put up there so you can see. Remember, we had you use blue dots to set the priorities. I know it's kind of behind the things, but And what happened was that there were 2 priorities that were almost equally voted for. Food security with 11 votes and immigrant rights with 9 votes. So we decided to split the $6,500 into 2 and look at both. And what we did was, knowing that that's what you thought was most important, we researched who in the community is addressing these particular issues. And Sue is going to talk briefly about food security, and then Jean will talk about immigrant rights. Okay?
Oh, thank you. Okay. Yeah, this is my first time up here too, so so we'll see. But I really appreciate being part of this community. Well, part of the community too, but part of the committee, because this is one of the reasons I'm a member of VIUU is both the involvement in the community, in the larger community, and the ability to support the way we're taking care of one another in the larger community. So we had a chance to really look at ways people are addressing, organizations are addressing food security, and we ended up with sort of a 3-legged stool. There was the food bank, which is really well functioning and has just moved, and it's part of this resilience hub. there's the Vega Food Access Farm Bucks, which support our growing community, a food growing community, and give us all access to fresh local food. And then we sort of learned about 2 other organizations that needed our support. And yeah, there we go. So I really appreciate the way we sort of researched this together as a committee, and we're really trying to reflect the priorities of this community. So, so we researched these other 2, which were basically the the senior center, which offers free lunches to a very specific community and to a community that doesn't have access always to the other programs, and then the Interfaith Council for Prevention of Homelessness and their food voucher program, which turned out, after we did some research, to be much more robust than we thought. And it's fairly new and very effective, and it gives access to food and household goods for the people who need it most. And so we saw all 3 of those as all 4 of those as worthy of support. But the sort of 3-legged stool that's supporting the whole community, and then the senior center that's offering additional support. So our original recommendation was to split the $3,000 as the main chunk of money between this sort of 3-legged stool, and have $1,000 to the food bank, $1,000 to the to the Interfaith Council, and then $1,000 to the Food Access Program. But we also realized that we've already given a lot of support to the food bank. And when we looked at how much that was another part of our research, we realized we've given $1,700 to the food bank, which is really significant. And so we still wanted to support, show support for continued support, but we reallocated some of that distribution to the other 2 groups, make it a little more balanced. So our final recommendation is up there, I think, yeah. And so we have $500 to the food bank, and $1,250 to each of the other major groups to what?
500 for seniors.
And so we have $1,250 to Food Access Farm Bucks, $1,250 to the Interfaith Council food vouchers, and then the extra $500 is still going to the senior center for lunches. And so we want to get your approval for this recommendation, I think, for that. And then we have the other half, which is the immigrant rights, the $3,000 for immigrant rights. And Jean was going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I want to just give a shout out to Marilee, who was the main driver behind this. And yeah, amazing. And also Shauna, I don't know if Shauna's here, but Shauna put together a whole list of food needs. Right. Yeah. So the immigrant rights pot is a little easier. There's really only two pots for that money. And some of you are probably already aware of this. So the Vashon Youth and Family Services has a community fund, and the money that goes in there, which tends to be smaller donations, but wouldn't have to be, helps people who need money to get a permit or need to go off island, obviously. So there's vouchers for transport. There's a lot of different paperwork that's needed. It's kind of amazing. Like there's a family that needs help to go to Olympia to get a apostille, which you can ask me later about that, but it's a particular form. It's going to cost over $100 to get the form. So the Vashon Youth and Family Services Community Fund takes care of a lot of that stuff. The other fund, it's written up there, it's called VARIST, because I realized Vashon needed another acronym. So this is a new thing. It's V, small a, for Vashon, Refugee and Immigrant Support Team. And that's just been created in the last few months with the idea of getting larger contributions that support lawyers, because it's way easier, not a guarantee of course, but way easier for people who are applying for asylum or all the things if they have a lawyer. And lawyers, there are lawyers who do pro bono work, but the Northwest Immigrant Rights Project has a long list of people wanting a pro bono lawyer. So there are some lawyers who will, I'm sure they're charging less than the standard fee, but it's costs, like $3,000 to help get somebody's case dismissed, for example. So what we'd like to do is give $1,000 to the community fund through the VYFS and $2,000 for VARIST. Okay? I think that's, yeah.
Thank you. You can see that there was a lot of thought put into this. So if you approve our recommendation, Kirk will write the checks and we'll get them out before the end of the year. So all in favor of these recommendations, raise your hand or say aye. Aye. Okay. Any opposed? Any abstain? Thank you very, very much.
Okay, I'm Kate, and in this instance, I'm speaking on behalf of the Sunday Program Committee. And the Sunday Program Committee is quite happy. We had some new people who were doing services this year for the first time, and Beth has recruited a whole bunch of other new people who want to do services next year. And so we're going to have some changes in what we have available to us next year, which should liven things up and make us all happy. But in the meantime, we do try once a year or thereabouts to do a survey and say, hey, what did you like this past year? What did you think definitely needed improvement? How do you want to engage, and how would you divvy up? We got 40 services to work with, certain number, 9 as it happens, go to our own minister. There are various groups we've had. We've had the UU ministers with a couple of additions like Carla usually. Social justice, arts and music. So there are different groups that we've worked with over the years. And thinking back on this last year, how would you like to see us carry that forward for next year? How would you divvy up those 40? Because it's great to add new people, but probably that means you're taking out a few of the ones you didn't like as much. So, four questions here. We're going to pass this out right now, because my experience is if we send you a survey online, 18 of you will answer. Every year, the same 18, I think, but I didn't actually check. And the rest of you just don't like those dumb surveys. So we're doing the paper and pencil approach.
Lock the doors.
Hi, I'm Rick. Just a short reminder for the men's group. June 11th for the men's group at Matt Burston's home. Right? Okay, thanks. 4 to 5:30.
they took my sheet of paper. It's okay. Could I interrupt our thinking for a moment? I don't want to lose this opportunity to have us acknowledge Jeff Cole. And I want to just say that Jeff, this may be the last service that Jeff attends in person. And our team, our Mystery and Wonder group, wants to acknowledge that Jeff spent years as part of that group and sort of shaped us as every other individual did. And I just appreciate his friendship and his wisdom and deep reflections on where he is in his life right now, and that he's offered us through the years, through the services he's provided us. So could we all stand and just acknowledge him? Yay. Thank you, and I just wanted to make sure we got to do that before everybody drifted away. Yes, thank you.
I did this once.
Okay.
A year or so ago. One acknowledgement, a fun way. Pay attention, Jeff. We go. Awesome. Let's do it together. Awesome.
I think we'll just imagine singing us out, okay? Because we're hard at work. Want to do it? Yeah. We do. You want to just sit and do it, or wave your arms in the air? Yeah. Sure. Okay. Go now in peace. Go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere.
So if board members could just gather for a couple minutes, maybe up here, that would be great. Any board members here?